Hi there, folks, and welcome to another episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. Today, I'm going to head over to a buddy's house. We just finished at dry dock last night, or, got it, let's just call it 99% done. But we're taking some oil filter, gear oil pump, and we're going to go over there and do some spring tune-up. Most of this stuff you normally do in the fall, or in the fall as you winterize. But this is a situation where we actually, he only had it on the water twice and then winterized it. So we're in pretty good shape when it comes to the oil, not being too, bad. We didn't leave a lot of bad oil in there over the winter. But it's time to get it ready. We're going to get all that stuff done and fired up for the first time this spring and see what we can get done. I'm excited. It won't take long to do this. I'm going to walk you through some of the stuff that we're going to do and how I do it, and we'll go from there. And this will be a good check because this will be the first time the outdrive, the stern drive, it's been in the water twice for a decent amount of time, and only 2 times out, but for many hours out. And we'll see if there's any water in there, and hopefully there's no water. That'll be the goal, right? You got water, you got a little more problems. But I also use that AMSOIL gear lube, outboard gear lube, or whatever you want to call it, and it can have up to 10% water contamination and still maintain its lubricity. So that's why I use it. All right, let's tune in when we get there. Should be a good time. My son's going to be there. My buddy's going to be there. It's a beautiful spring morning. What more can you ask for? It's going to be awesome. Oh, and not to mention, he told me he's going to have biscuits and gravy for breakfast when I get there. That's the breakfast of champions, I tell you what. All right, see you in a little bit. So, have you named this yet?
I'm not.
All right, folks, we're back here with the 1967 StarCraft. It's a boat with currently no name. Shine the camera on him. It's nice.
Hand it out.
Why? Don't be shy. All right, so we're gonna get down here and change the gear oil. You've seen me do this 100 times. The important part is, are we gonna see any water or not? So let's get down here and see if we see any water come out of this bad boy. Cross our fingers, no water. There's no oil. There can't be water if there's no oil, right? Awesome. Well, that's good. That's just good, thick. No water. Perfect. There we go. A little bit of black in there, but that'll work. All right, we'll let that drain. This is going to take a little while, and we'll move on to the engine compartment. We're going to go ahead and start changing that oil. Ooh, there we go. Look at that. Now it's coming out. Oh, I forgot how much more roomier this one is. No overhang. Yeah. That red boat I picked up, that thing is pretty cool because that thing where the seats and everything are, you flip that all the way back, it hangs all off the back, exposes absolutely everything. Yeah. That's the only good thing about it. Rest of it I don't know yet. Cool. So, let me get the pump. You got a battery? Battery?
The car battery?
Yeah. All right, we're getting ready to, I think the bottom. It's closed. There we go. Yeah, I even bought a small oil pan. So we're getting ready to drain the oil here. And the way we drain the oil in this bad boy is to pump it out. So we stick this down the dipstick tube. And then we have this end so it doesn't get all over me, I hope. And I'm gonna be covered in it. I just know it. Then we pump it out. It's a noisy process, and you'll just let this bad boy run for a bit until she runs out of oil. Well, according to what I saw I went through, just did my taxes, and I was going through all my receipts for buying all this oil and stuff. There's a lot of Napa receipts in there for this gear oil. I don't know how many. I bet I bought 25 quarts worth of it last year, at least.
Well, the average person only goes through 1.5.
Well, it's one of those things that
When you see a boat, you buy it.
I always, Yup, nailed it. Never thought of it that way, but that's what happens. I've only passed on a few. All right, we're putting oil back in, and we're gonna put it in until it comes out here. And it's gonna take a little over a quart, about 1.25 quarts. You know what I did wrong here? I was getting ready to screw up, is what I was getting ready to do.
Took the wrong plug out.
I did, but this is still a drain plug on this one. That's why it didn't take off right away. Draining, you know.
Because it had some vacuum up
I
there.
still have my thumb over the straw up here.
So what's that plug for?
Huh?
What's that one for?
I don't know. It's a magnetic plug. It picked up some stuff. That's very fine. Had the one guy, I bought that Larson boat. Thank God he never ran it, because he tried filling it through here.
Oh, jeez.
And he goes, well, it seemed like it was full. I couldn't get any more in. He goes, it didn't even take 1/2 quart. Like, I said, you got to fill those from the bottom, because there's a little tiny hole about that big around between these two halves. And
Compress air.
yeah, and it won't drain through there very fast, so you'll think you're full and you're not. Then everything goes down here, and then you lock this up.
So will it come out of here now?
Yeah. Oh, this is an older bottle. It didn't even take a full quart. Nice. Got a towel up there? Thank you. Nothing to worry about. I know the one time we went a 200-mile day, and I changed the oil. It was black as that.
Jeez.
After just one day of running it, 200 miles. I asked the guy at Stern Drive. He says, well, I told him what that one was doing, and he says, well, when you're on plane, this is in the water staying cool. When you're on plane, the water's coming through here. There is absolutely no water up here.
It's cooking.
And it just cooks it.
Well, but you have water being pumped through.
Just one little channel. Hole about that big is all.
To go through the exhaust. Dang, yeah. Because normally it'd be half of that underwater.
Yeah, well, when you're sitting there and not
Yeah.
doing anything, it's right about right here typically is what you see. So yeah, it was pretty wicked. So he sent me that stainless piece. You'll see it when we get to the house. It actually is a stainless piece that has little hooks here. It's tubing, so when you're going through the water, it picks up water, and it goes up through here, or maybe it's on the inside or outside. I haven't mounted it yet. It comes up and over the top and down the other side. And it has holes, so it just showers this whole thing in water. So you can go on plane and it keeps this cold.
Nice.
Said it can lower it up to 50 degrees. So 50 degrees is a lot of lowering. So that tells you how hot that can get. That's crazy. That only takes about 1 quart.
Here's a question. Would it drain more if you took the top plug out?
No.
It would just drain faster.
Yeah. All right. Gear lube done. There we go. Yeah.
That's the 830 engine oil.
Yep. It's actually diesel oil.
Really?
Yeah. Rotella, they make a lot of, Rotella makes a lot of diesel stuff for,
Because I just put 5W40 in this thing.
oh yeah, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
But yeah, these always just say SE830.
Okay.
The nice thing about that oil is it has the zinc and the other additives, as Derek calls it, dinosaur bones, for the flat tappet lifters and stuff. You got it recording?
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting ready to pull the oil filter off and hopefully I don't make a big mess. What's that? Not a drop. This thing was dry. You run any oil in this at all? Cool.
You told me to keep it low.
Makes it more efficient. Not having to have that engine sludge all that oil around. Now guys, use a Napa Gold or a Wix filter if you want your stuff to last. This is what we've done here. All right, we're ready to top her back off. Can't believe I didn't spill any at all. Huh. Yeah. Dump it all over myself. Now what we're putting back in here is this Shell Rotella SAE30 engine oil. It has all the zinc and zinc. You don't have to do zinc additives and all the other stuff for these old flat tappet engines. This works best. Easy, easy. That was hard. There we go. We're getting ready to put some cleats on the old girl. It doesn't have any good ways to tie things down, so we're gonna put some cleats on it. And there again, it's just 2 holes, bolts are in. We robbed these off of I didn't. He did. He robbed them off another boat I had laying around the yard there that I was gonna take to the dump. So we're repurposing once again. We're green here, not just the boat. All right, guys and gals and everybody else. We're getting ready to fire it up. We got fresh oil in the engine. We got fresh oil in the gearbox. Fresh battery in the battery box. You gonna run it?
Yeah. You want to turn the hose on?
Yeah. Never started up without water. So I'm gonna get the water going. And this is gonna be the first start of the season after winterization. Let's just see how good it did. Oh, it's leaking water, man. All right, here we go. Love the sound of these little 4-cylinders. Especially the gurgly thing through the exhaust, how it works. Give her a couple pumps like that. There you go, and do that. Now pull her back to neutral. There you go, give her a whirl there now. That's one.
It does have a priming bulb.
Oh yeah, that's right. Squeeze that priming bulb on this one. Your bulb back there. Make sure we got some gas. Ain't got no gas in it.
I also got starting fluid in there too if you want to.
Shouldn't need that.
All right.
Bulb hard?
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay. There we go. Here we go again. Come on, baby. Boy, you see it. How wide open you got that water? You got the water wide open? Okay. No, what I'm saying is he's sucking it in. Sounds good.
Well, if you think about it, half the Bible here,
Yeah.
it's just not exactly like the 80s.
percolating. Let her warm up a little bit.
Just get out of the way.
This thing here, folks. Idle her up just a touch. Running like a sewing machine, man. That engine is so quiet. All right, we found the clunking sound. So we got the washer in here. We've got some things that, you know, this isn't the original prop to this boat. But we had this collar here, and we were tightening it up where it's nice and tight, but when I hold this tight, watch this. It still moves back and forth. Plus, how could that pin have stayed in there? I just don't think it could have. We also found a little pin. That's the same pin that's in the shifter mechanism. It ended up on the bench here, and the bench was clean when we started, so color us confused. But the problem we run into here is this particular one has a sharp face here, where normally this collar would fit on a taper. And this would have a tapered surface this would go up against. So we gotta locate some washer prop combo that works with this particular outdrive. Otherwise, we're ready to rock and roll. And you went out twice with it last year doing the same thing, so obviously the play would go back and forth, and it's going to force itself one way, and it's fine, but we'll get it right. Cool? Cool. Well, that was a lot of fun. They served us, I ain't kidding you, biscuits and gravy, sausage gravy, from a hog they raised, sausage from the hog they raised, and biscuits, hash browns, eggs from their chickens, both scrambled and fried. All I know is my buddy really knows how to treat a guy. And but yeah, we had fun working on this boat, getting it back around. Obviously we got to work on figure out what that prop situation is, so we're not done with this video yet. So we'll be checking out some stuff back at the house to see if I have some stuff laying around that will work on his boat and get rid of that play. I've got to do some more research on why that doesn't have a taper and it just has a flat, you know, face on it. So I got to look into that and see what that's all about. That's got me a little bit puzzled. I haven't seen one like that, but apparently we've got some mismatched washers and hardware there to make that prop work properly on that particular boat. All right, we'll solve that. Plus we're probably going to be do a little more organization behind the shop at the old Outboard Marina. We've got more of that pallet racking, and I want to put some things behind the shop to set some pallet racking up so I can store some of this stuff that, you know, it's not out in the weather per se, but it just needs not be, you know, it needs to be more upright instead of spread out everywhere. And we're going to do a little bit of that work today. Maybe do a little time lapse of that just to kind of give you guys an idea of some what I'm doing back there. All right, onward and upward. We'll do some more investigation, and I'll tune back in a little bit. All right, we're back here at the marina, and we had a problem with that prop having some in play, right? So I came back here and I looked at the, you know, the 5 of them I have here that are off the boats. Put on 19. So I had them marked up here. This one was a locked up one. This one was the locked up one that came off the 1968 StarCraft. And here's one I had slated marked, put on the 1968 StarCraft. And we were looking at the washer setup on the prop. Well, his doesn't have the tapered shaft. And what I mean by that is right here, there's a tapered area. I'm trying to get you in the line so you can see it. There's a tapered area right there. And the washer has a cone Big washer has a cone shape to it that goes up against that. Well, his did not have that. His shoulder and his shaft is squared off. Well, on the 1968, here's what I've got. There's one that's squared off. Wait a minute. It has a taper too. What the heck? What am I missing here? This one was obviously sitting against, you can see how it was sitting against the face though. And I'm wondering if his, I'm looking at this one right here, it's hard to see. This is the one it was on. And it went back. And here, it's hard to see. It goes up and sits against that face. It still has a taper on it though. But I wonder if, I think I got something that'll work here, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll have to take that over there and try it. I got a prop, also a different prop for him to try that might actually work better. But it's one of my best aluminum props that I still have that has minimal scarring on it and such. So anyway, I might have some solution for him for that, because that was one of the things when we left his place that wasn't quite completed. So as some additional, let's just call it footage. What? You're on camera. Look at the boss sitting up there, the overseer. She has climbed the corporate ladder to the second floor. I'm still on the first floor. So, you gonna come out and help me? Ever? Maybe? That's a solid maybe. You guys heard it. Maybe not. It's too far away. Got another project I'm working on here. And I wanted to show you guys. I had some, I have these thoughts and ideas that run through my thick skull. And I want to get them out to you guys because let's go over here and look. Remember we did just a video ago or so, we did the platform here, the dry dock. So I can actually walk up on this thing just like nothing. I don't even have to look at the thing. I'm just walking on it. I have to look down. And I'll be able to step right over here into the boat. Boom. But I got to thinking, not everybody has a cement pad in their yard. Yet, you could put this out in your yard. And keep in mind, this is a dry dock, right? When a boat's next to it. When it's not a boat next to it, you could use it as a place for a spread that's not your picnic table. I'm just giving you ideas, guys, to sell this to the wife idea type thing, okay? So yeah, this is sitting down on concrete, right? And I got the stairs on concrete. Well, it came to me. Do I have to have concrete to do this? No. But how do I keep these small pads on the bottom of this pallet racking or whatever you build this out of from rotting or rusting? Well, I'm gonna show you what I did over here. And it has nothing to do with this dry dock, but it just, again, it gave me ideas, right? Okay, so on the back of my shop, there's a lean-to. And the lean-to is a catch-all, and it gets piled up full of crap, and it turns into an actual junk pile. Well, I hauled off 1,800 pounds of scrap, but then I had some pallet racking that I had purchased. Got it for a whale of a deal, sale of a deal, heck of a deal, whatever you want to call it. And boom. So I've established pallet racking underneath the back of my lean-to. Now, my lean-to is dirt, but look down here what I did. That's a 4x4 treated post put in the ground. And then, and I'm going to show you more of this later because this is, right now I can take everything I have here, pretty much everything I have that's just cluttering up this area back here, and I can get it up on this shelf, right? It's up off the ground. It's, for the most part, out of the weather. If I want stuff not to get wet, I can put it up higher on this shelf. Because there again, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves. Well, I'm gonna put another one up. Let's just back up over here for a second. Get around so that's my entrance to the back of my shop, right? And I got room for another one with plenty of room in between up here. But I got to get this cleaned up first, and that's what we're going to do next. But then I'm going to show you how I went about putting the post in the ground, getting everything squared up. Now you can do a real good job of measuring, put the post in. But yeah, I've got these lag screwed. Sneak around over here. They're lag screwed down on top of the post. This thing, I ain't kidding you. Now with this image stabilization that the GoPro has, you won't see it shaking. And that, you still won't see it shaking because it doesn't shake. That thing is so solid. And I use this, you've seen the expandable foam stuff you put down on the ground? That stuff's amazing. And works really well. 30 minutes later, this thing is locked in. I even had a piece over here. If you don't think it locks to the ground real well, I had this thing locked down, or spilt some here, and it spilt right here. And I kicked it out of the ground. It pulled up the grass, and it pulled up the mud with it. And I had to kick it a couple times to break it loose. But they bit really hard. So this stuff is it worth the $15 a bag versus a $3.50 bag of concrete mix? I don't know. But anyway, it was nice and easy. And now my dog's going to, what are you doing, Mercury? You going to take it? Probably not good for the dog to chew on. And he obviously knows that because he didn't put it back. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Merc? He's my good boy. He's my good boy, Mercury. Yeah, yeah. You gonna hang around with me tonight while I'm out here working? There's the other, oh, he took off with it. There he goes. We got Lucy right there. Those two are brother and sister. All right, back to the show. Okay, so my goal tonight is to pick this up. I've got another set of racks here. I'm gonna put right here to put more, have more storage out here. But what I was getting at, if you were to take these posts, for instance, and do something like this in your yard somewhere, even if you're just building a 3x3 foot platform deck or something with the stairs on it, you can make yourself a dry dock anywhere in your yard, because you're gonna be walking in and out of your boat, you know, and you don't have to have a cement pad, you know, to park your boat on to do this. You can do it just out in the yard, because typically, is your boat parked next to it all the time? It could be. It all depends on what you want to do. But you can plant those posts in the yard, get something like a metal frame rack type thing like this up off the ground so it's not ground contact and rusting. And then if you decide you don't like it later on, saw it off flush to the ground, mow over the top of it, let the grass take over. Just throwing that out there. All right. So I'm going to tripod you guys, and so you can watch me work super fast. And the goal is to get this entire area right here all up on that rack and create enough space so I can create my next rack, because I have some spare parts, junk parts, and everything in between that I don't need taking up my shop space, but it could easily take up space out here. Let's just call it the outboard, inboard boneyard. All right? Okay. Thanks again for joining, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of this video. Don't forget to leave comments. And some of you have caught on and do me a real big solid, and the same person will leave 4 or 5 different comments throughout the video, because comments helps drive the algorithms on YouTube, and along with the thumbs up and the subscribers. It just helps all the way around, and that's the best way you can support my channel and keep me going at this moment in time, because I don't have merchandise yet, but I got some great ideas up here as to what I want to create, some real cool merch that you'd be proud to wear, because it's just gonna look cool. All right, let's get busy. Enjoy. Well, we're so close to finishing this project up, I can almost taste it. few more of those and we can put another shelf down here and finish cleaning up this mess. Awesome. We can make that as project number 2 completed for the day, and that's a good feeling. All right, we're taking a break from that little bit of hard work in the backyard there, building them racks under the lean-to. We've got the washer I think I needed, and a different prop even, a little bit better prop I found at the marina there. We're going back over to my buddy's house and finish off that green boat where we had the prop that had the in-play, and it was thunking back and forth, which is kind of weird. But I've got a different prop. And the thing, a washer I found was off of a 1968 StarCraft with the Mercruiser outdrive, and his is a 1967 StarCraft with a Mercruiser outdrive. So we'll see if there's any differences there or any kind of, I don't know. It just seems kind of puzzling. Plus I got a different washer to go on the front that doesn't have necessarily a stop on it. Maybe it's supposed to have a stop. Maybe there's supposed to be some end play there. But it just seems like when you go to forward and reverse, it'd be that boink, boink, boink. You know, it just doesn't seem right that that should be there. But maybe it should be. Guys, leave comments below on what your thoughts are on that. We're going to see what we got over there, and maybe we can get it rectified. I'll be there in a minute. See you then. All right, we made it over here. Let's grab a few things out of the trunk. See if we can make some magic happen here. There I am. Hey there, Mr. Kitty. How you doing? Say hi. I think that was a trained attack guard kitty. We survived that. Let's get some lights on in here. There we go. One more thing to grab out of the trunk. He's out mowing his yard right now. See if I can get this done before he even sees that I'm here. I'm not going to put grease on it right away because I want to see if the slop is gone before I get carried away with that. I'm hoping it'll do it. Hoping it'll do it. So here's the pieces I got. That's the one that came off the 68. Whamma damn it. But see how this one has a through spline? And the one that was original on it had a stop on it. It just makes me curious if that stop is supposed to, you know, stop things. That looks like the same dang thing to me. Huh. I'm gonna put my prop on it here. This came off my 76 StarCraft. Yeah, see, I think that's gonna work with the original stop collar. Sure enough. Because that lets that stop collar still work like it should. Yippers. Go ahead and put this, let's drop it down in there, that's awesome. Let's go ahead and put this back on. Makes a nice breeze when you spin that. All right, guys, we've got this thing back together, and we have discovered by do a little reading that this little bit of play, some forums are saying that's normal. Seems weird, but we're gonna let it ride and go from there. All right, another task completed. Now, in case any of you, were wondering, on that go-kart where we replaced that old junky Coleman motor with the Predator motor, 2 pulls and it's running. That's a 1.5 years later, ain't it? So, running like a top. Don't be afraid of the Predator motor if you're got a piece of crap Coleman motor in your Coleman go-kart. Well, folks, I hope you found that video fun and helpful and maybe spark some ideas for your own project. This is something that I've been waiting all winter to get done, and I had to wait for the ground to thaw, as you know, so I can dig a few holes. But now I've got more storage out here. I think all that does is allow me to collect more junk. But, you know, I'm gonna start purging some stuff here and there that I don't need. But at least it's got some place to keep some boat seats and some things that I've got out of the boat, out of my shop, but yet out of the weather for this particular portion of the program. We got that 1967 StarCraft. She's about ready to go back on the water. Went back over there. He had his boat cleats installed. He fixed his shifter mechanism that was missing a little part that we found months later after I cleaned up my shop. We put that back in. But whew, so boy's tired. A couple of evenings of slinging dirt and handling all this shelving and moving product. You know, it's enough to wear a fella out. But it feels good to be tired in a physical way that way. But yeah, you see it over there, don't you? I see you eyeballing it. I see you. Don't look at it yet. We're not ready, but we're getting close. We're getting close. We're building some of the things I need to build to see if I can straighten out that dent. But anyway, good stuff. Guys, thanks for watching. I ain't kidding you. I got some of the most wonderful subscribers and viewers and commenters that's on YouTube, I feel. I know a lot of YouTubers say that, but I'm not saying they don't mean it, but I definitely mean it. You guys keep leaving comments and keep inspiring me to do more and more things. This video is a little bit boat, a little bit yard work. It's kind of like the one that I did just on the dry dock, but you just gotta keep at it. Got to get this place in shape. We're real close to getting a boat on the water. Get a few things getting in my way, but we're gonna get those out of my way and get on that water. So this weekend's weather looking a little more like something we can work with. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching. This is Michael saying if it ain't broke, fix it till it is, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give me that thumbs up, and we'll see you around, folks. Stay safe.